Hey guys, Prince of Macedon here at Universal Studios. I am here over 2 weeks before Halloween Horror Nights even starts, but I'm going to be doing a 3-house tour, and this is the first time Universal is doing the Behind the Screams tour before the event even starts. So today we're going to get a tour of 3 houses. We're going to get a look at Slaughterhouse Cinema 2, which was my favorite original house many years ago. Also the museum, the Deadly Exhibit, and the Triplets of Terror. And again, for the Behind the Screams tour, video is not allowed. We have to do all still images, so I'll be narrating over the pictures that I take inside the houses. So as usual, when you're in the waiting area, waiting for the tour to start, you got these costumes. I do not recognize these costumes. Usually it's costumes from last year, but I actually don't recognize these. They look pretty sweet, especially this one. This looks like the Master Wizard right here.
Slaughterhouse Cinema.
Here we go, guys. This is the lanyard. So during the tour, they give you these earpieces and this sound thing where you can hear the tour guide talking directly to you. There's a lot of times the tour guide will be a little away from you. Might be hard to hear. So with this, you can hear everything. All right, we're coming this way into the park. Here's my group. But we're walking towards the very back where the tents are. Our first house is going to be the museum Deadly Exhibit. So we're going to get the hot, long walk out of the way while it's still not too bright. We made it, guys. We made it. So our first house of this lights on tour was in the very back in the tents, and it was called the Museum, the Deadly Exhibit. This is the exterior facade of the Deadly Exhibit house, and it looks pretty cool. The Deadly Exhibit's codename is Baklava, and as you'll see for this year, the code names for the houses are named after desserts. And in each of the houses, you will find there is a corresponding dessert that matches up with the house's code name. So you enter this museum. The story takes place after the museum is closed to the public. So the mannequins you see inside are employees who are working after hours. This museum is literally rotting away because there is an evil spirit possessing inanimate objects inside the museum. And there's actually a desk character here whose costume uses part of the Pumpkin Lord's costume, so I guess it kind of blends in. I'm not really sure because we haven't seen this character yet, but it's going to be right here by the desk. And this is a neat little house that shows the inside of a museum which has multiple exhibits, and I don't have any pictures of it, but there are information placards on each of the display pieces, and you can't actually read it. The information is blurred out, but it's all the same placard throughout the entire museum. And a little fun fact, the placard, which you can't read, is originally about a Mesopotamian hammer. And there are some really cool rooms in the museum, and some of them we could not show. Like there was an Asian theme exhibit, and there's a really cool Viking exhibit which depicts part of a longboat, and really cool. And check it out, it's Mama Bear from Scary Tales. So the house just kind of keeps going, and it's a really cool house. Again, there's like little museum pieces, artifacts, what have you, scattered throughout the house. And sorry, a lot of my images are blurred because it was pretty dark, and if I'm not completely still, then the image gets kind of blurred. But yeah, all kinds of cool rooms in here. And I just wanted to take advantage of the fact that I had a camera. They let us take pictures in these rooms. Halloween Horror Nights hasn't even started yet, so I'm going to show as many pictures as I can from each house. But this particular house is almost finished. You can see that it is indeed rotting away in different areas, and I love these portraits here. They look so wicked, and I had to double check and triple check with the tour guides to make sure that I was allowed to take pictures of those portraits. And then that was the end of this house, at all that we could show. So we went right into our second house after the first one. The second house is actually my most anticipated original house for this year, 2024. And that would be Slaughterhouse Cinema 2. And this facade will obviously look a lot different at nighttime when there are screen projections on it. I'm assuming it's going to look like the screen for a drive-thru or something. And in the first room, you'll see two movie posters, which I had to crop out because we were not allowed to show any of the movie posters in this house. But the two movie posters that you see as you enter the lobby, they both reference two houses from last year. There was the Darkest Deal house and the Blood Moon house from last year. And when you see the posters, you will get the reference. But this house looks like it'll be a very great sequel to the first house, Slaughterhouse Cinema 1, which came out in, I believe, 2018. And yeah, there were tons of really fun fake movie posters throughout the house, but we were not allowed to take pictures of any of them. They all looked really cool though. And there's also a really giant shark puppet or animatronic. I'm not sure what it was. When you see it, it'll be easier to see what I'm talking about. But it's a giant shark. I just couldn't take pictures of it. And the dessert code name for this house is the Cobbler. Hey guys, so we just got out of the Slaughterhouse Cinema 2 house and also the Deadly Exhibit house. Both look pretty good. A lot of those rooms you couldn't take pictures of. You couldn't take pictures of any of the posters. But I'm so excited for Slaughterhouse Cinema 2. A lot of those fake movies they have in there are going to be so great to walk through. Now, the last house on our 3-house tour was the Triplets of Terror, which was located towards the front of the park inside Soundstage 24B. And this shares the same soundstage with the Insidious house, which would be Soundstage 24A. And this house revolves around the Barney family, who are a family of hoarders, very disorganized. And their street address is 3324 Wichita Lane. 33 is a reference to the 33rd year of Halloween Horror Nights, and 24 represents the year 2024. But the setting of this house will jump time periods, but it begins in 1984, where the three triplets massacre a family. And since then, every 10 years after, they have recreated this birthday massacre. And I guess they will progress from children murderers to adult murderers throughout the years. But the dessert code name for this house is Fudge. And again, like every other house that we've seen so far, there are several rooms in here that we could not photograph, and there were also several objects that we could not show. But yeah, there was a section in this house that reminded me of the Case Files, just in terms of the visual style of it, not in terms of story. But we could not photograph that room. But now that I've seen the Triplets of Terror house, I'm pretty anxious to, not anxious, I'm pretty excited to try it out, because honestly, going into this lights on tour for this particular house, I didn't really know what the Triplets of Terror was. So if you're ever not sure about the photographs that you took, if you were allowed to take a picture in that room or not, I mean, the tour guide is going to tell you as you enter each room if you're allowed to. And let's say you took a picture, you're still not sure, you can always ask the tour guide, when she's not talking, if you're allowed to take a picture of that, and then you can just delete it if you need to. But yeah, this last one was pretty cool. It kind of looked like the Universal monsters when you're in the sewers of Paris. All right, guys, just finished the 3-house tour. We started at 9 o'clock. I was slated for 8:45, so we started a little after that, and then just now finished. It's 11:30, so it took about 3 hours roughly. Pretty short, 3 hours, 3 houses, and got to see a lot. I gotta say, it's really unique and kind of weird to do the to do the lights on tours before we went into the houses, because I actually don't know what to expect. Even after seeing the houses, I have no idea what to expect, because with the lighting, the effects, the characters, it could be a completely different house. And as they said at the beginning, these houses might change by the time HHN actually starts. So I don't know what to expect. So there's that mystery that's still there. But I'm so glad I got to do this tour, because it's a way of starting Halloween Horror Nights season without actually experiencing it. And I'm not sure how which house I felt was my favorite of the day. Triplets of Terror looked pretty freaking awesome though. I have a feeling Slaughterhouse Cinema is going to be my favorite original house this year, because the first one was my favorite from 2018. So when I did this tour, there's quite a few people, considering the small space that we get. So I had two strategies. One, if you're in the tour, hang out in the very back, but you're gonna miss out a lot of the things that the tour guide's pointing out. But the advantage is, once everybody leaves, you get clear shots of all the props and stuff. But again, not every room was allowed to be photographed. You have to listen to your tour guide. She'll tell you what's allowed to be photographed or not. But the other strategy going into these rooms is to be one of the first ones in, and then you can see everything that the tour guide's pointing out, and then you can photograph everything as she points it out. But the problem with that is, you're gonna have a lot of people in the pictures when you're taking those pictures. So it's a different philosophy. If you want to hang back, you can take some really clear shots. If you want to stay in the front, you can take some pretty good pictures, but there's gonna be tons of people in the photographs. So I'll be doing the 6 house tour in a few weeks, but I will be reviewing Halloween Horror Nights for the preview. So I should have one of the first videos up again, as I normally do. I'll be working with my fellow vlogging friend to make that happen for you guys. But yeah, make sure you check out, or stay subscribed to my channel if you want to check out a lot of Halloween Horror Nights content. But yeah, so these Unmasking the Horror tours are definitely some of my favorite things to do for Halloween Horror Nights. I just wish that someday they bring back the character dining, because I love the character dining, getting those characters up close. And that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this look at the 3 house tour 2.5 weeks before Halloween Horror Nights started. Oh, before I forget, the one house that's not going to be on either tour is A Quiet Place. Go figure. So if you do the 3 house tour or the 6 house tour, you'll see everything except for A Quiet Place. You ever get here so early that you park in the dungeon? It's like way down here, guys. I feel safe though, because security also parked down here.